All right, so let's spotlight. I think Teresa and Kevin wasn't sure if he'd been sworn in his current term, and anyone else who needs to take the oath. All right, if you kindly,
Kevin McNamara.
yeah, repeat after me. I state your
I,
name. Do solemnly
Kevin
swear
McNamara, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
I'm sorry, Dawn, do you want us to do it concurrent?
Yes, go ahead
Okay.
and just get
That
all
I will
done with.
support and defend the Constitution of the
of the
United
United States
States and
And the Constitution of the
and
State
of
of
the
California
and the Constitution of the State of
of the State of
California
California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that
that
I
I
will
will bear
bear
true
true
faith
faith
and
and
allegiance
allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to
to
the
the
Constitution
Constitution
of
of
the
the
United
United
States
States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the
Constitution of
Constitution
the
of the
State of
State of
California,
California,
that I take this obligation freely
that
that I
I
take
take
this
this
obligation
obligation
freely
freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without
without any
any
mental
mental
reservation
reservation
or
or
purpose of
purpose of
evasion,
evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
that
and
I
that I
will
will
well
well and
and
faithfully
faithfully
discharge
discharge
the
the
duties
duties
upon
upon
which I
which
am
I am
about to
about to
enter.
enter.
And during such time as I hold the office of Central Committee member.
And during
During
such
such
time
time,
as I
I
hold the
hold the
office
office
of
of,
Central Committee member.
as I hold the
Okay.
office of Central Committee member.
All right. Thank you both. Welcome to the fray, and glad to see you with us this evening. Um, let's see. We are doing pretty well with our so let's want to pull up the land acknowledgement. We'll go ahead and take care of that. We pause to acknowledge that the Solano County Democratic Extension Committee of the Democratic Party sits on the land of the Miwok and Patwin people. We remember their continued connection to this region and give thanks to them for allowing us to live, work, learn, and pray in their traditional homeland. We offer our respect to their elders and the Miwok and Patwin people of the past and present. All right. Looking, I think I saw a guest or two come in. So, Brianna, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Don. Hey, everybody, my name is Brianna Rogers. My apologies, I'm off camera. I'm in transition currently. I am a resident here in Vallejo. I'm also a candidate for Vallejo City Council District 4, and I'm happy to be on the call. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any other guests at the moment, so we will move on to approval of the March 25 minutes. So those were all sent out to you. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions that anyone has? So please raise your hand. Seeing no hands, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
This is Paula. So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All right. Okay, if we can launch that poll.
Can you hear us now, Pat?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was a mix up. My husband's on a Zoom and we both had our Bluetooth. It's a big deal, but it's okay. I'm all right now. Sorry, everybody.
No. Oh,
No
we're
problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone vote who desires to vote. Give me about 10 more seconds. Okay. And the minutes have been approved. I'm moving on to the agenda for tonight. Again, if anyone has any additions, corrections, deletions, please raise your hand. If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve agenda.
I second it.
All right, that was Kevin McNamara makes the motion, Pat Smith seconded, so ready to launch. Again, vote early, vote often. Give you about another 10 seconds or so. All right, and the agenda has been adopted. Next, we have public comment on our agenda. This is for guests to our meeting. All comments are limited to 2 minutes. Additional time may not be granted. The comment period may not exceed a total of 30 minutes. So again, any of our guests, if you wish to speak at this time, please raise your hand. I'm not seeing any hands up, so we'll go ahead and close our public comment and move on to our treasurer's report. So Karen, whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll wait for Amber to pull up the report and I will get started. Great, thanks, Amber. Hello, fellow Solano Democrats. Okay, for April, we have for our treasury report, looking at the federal account, we have credits of dues, contributions of $315, a allocation transfer from our state account of $5,665.56 for total credits of $5,980.55. With the starting balance of $8,099.49, adding that, we come to $14,080.05. Moving on to our debts, expenses. River City Business Services, $582.39. We have Act Blue merchant fees of $9.73. We paid the first installment, a monthly installment on our workspace, Google Workspace of $32.51. We're going to try and do that annually, but right now we're just working through the bugs of how we can do it accounting wise. Our storage unit was $168.99 for a total of expenses of $793.62. When subtracting those debits from our credits, we come a ending balance, federal ending balance of $13,286.43. Moving on to our state account, our beginning balance is $11,480.11. Our CRAB fee contributions was $1,000. We had dues contribution of $70 and recurring dues at $15 for total credits of $1,085. That gave us an ending credit balance of $12,565.11. Moving on to expenses, Agri merchant fees of 60 cents, and of course, the allocation transfer that we sent to our federal account of $5,665.56 made our total debt $666.16 with a state ending balance of $6,898.95. Adding our state ending balance to our federal ending balance, we have a total federal and state accounts of $20,185.38. So are there any questions at that? I have a couple other reports that I'm going to give you tonight. So if you have questions at this point, you can go ahead and ask me. Note that the website that we have at the bottom was for 2025. I'm sorry, I did not take that off. The current ones that I sent in an email that was sent out by Don on April 20th are the current websites for dues. So just wanted to make that correction. And also, there was a question regarding what our total crab feed status is. So just looking at our sales, we had sales of $20,063. And we also had expenditures of $8,609.57. So we cleared, which was our profit, $13,953.43. We have an outstanding receipts of $1,175, which should be collected hopefully by the end of this month. And that would boost that to a total of $15,128.43. But we don't have it yet, but just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Okay, any additional questions that you may have regarding money in the bank?
Kathy has her hand up.
Yeah, this isn't about money in the bank, but how does that compare to the last year's crab feed, do you know?
I think we actually made more money this year than we did last year.
Wow.
And that was something that I was going to look at, but I've got the figures somewhere here on the last crab feed. I may have filed it already. Oh, let's see. Let's see what we have. Okay. Okay, I don't have it right in front of me, but I can certainly send that out. But
Yeah,
I
I
do
think,
believe, yeah, I do believe we made a little bit more money this year than we did last year.
yeah, I think that's
We
really interesting.
We certainly had more people sponsorships than we did
This year or last year? This year?
this year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good. Good. Congratulations,
Yeah.
everyone.
So
who
we
got
came out
that.
solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, everybody.
Good job. Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Moving on to our other officers report. As you all know, it's been a very eventful month since our last meeting. We've had one candidate's campaign implode, and rightfully so. Another of our candidates for governor drop out. And we appear to be starting to see the process of consolidation around a couple of the front runners, however belated that might be. I will just add to that, obviously there's a lot of back and forth among people about supporting their favorite candidate, attacking the other candidates, and want to remind you to generally try to focus on what is positive about your candidate and remember, none of our candidates are without flaws. I think we are all mature enough to recognize that each of the leading candidates for governor has their own strengths and weaknesses. So I think would encourage you all as you're making your choices over the next couple of weeks to evaluate the candidates and choose the one that you are the most comfortable with under whatever criteria you're using, whether you're voting primarily on electability and who's the front runner, or you're voting for the one that's most aligned with your values, or what have you. I would encourage you to make an informed choice and do that and respect other people's rights to make their choice. I do want to echo a comment that was circulating today that some are encouraging people to hold their ballots until the last minute. I would encourage you to be cautious about that because the post office has made it clear that unless you're mailing it directly from the post office, they're not going to guarantee that just because you drop your ballot in the mail by election day, it doesn't necessarily mean it'll be postmarked by election day. And that's not even counting what the Supreme Court might decide to do. The challenge over whether postmarks should be considered valid. So again, as you vote, just keep all the various factors in mind. The important thing is that we have at least one Democrat moving forward into November, hopefully a good Democrat that represents our values. But what that is for you is kind of, I know, varies from person to person. Pat.
Yeah, I just want to remind people about the drop boxes in each town. I know in Benicia they have one at the city hall and apparently at Parati Ace Hardware, but which is a nice alternative to the mailboxes, because that will go directly to, I think, the registrar of voters. So I just wanted to mention that as an option for people instead of worrying about the mail at the mailboxes.
I believe, and Jeannie can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that we had the county registrar speak at our last club meeting in the northern, and I believe he said that every library branch will have a drop box.
Yes.
So you have that option as well, and we have the benefit of those, at least in our larger cities, of being available in the evenings and weekends. So plenty of opportunities to drop it off. Paula.
We should find out where all of the drop boxes are and then send it out to our members and ask them to send it out to their clubs and their friends and their family. Because, mailing is not a good option this year.
I believe the list is available on the registrar's website, so I will make a note and look for it after the meeting. And if it is there, we'll send that out for people to have that information because it's good to know. And we do want to encourage our people to vote and have their votes counted, not lost by any administrative difficulties or federal shenanigans. So other than the election news, I did want to say I also had the privilege of attending the Spring Salute to Labor last week. There was a good turnout for that event. Food was very good. I will give Labor credit. They do know how to hire a good caterer. And a lot of current and potential candidates were there. So we have a bright future ahead of us in this cycle and coming cycles of people looking to serve their community. So I think we've got a good bench building. And with that, that's all I have for right now. I know our Northern Vice Chair is under the weather this evening. I don't see that our um, Southern Vice Chair has connected quite yet. So, Kathy, do you have anything to report other than the minutes?
No. Uh, I should have asked her this sooner though, but I do want to make sure everybody's thinking about canvassing for our two supervisor candidates, and it would be nice to organize some club things around that.
No. We will certainly encourage all of our clubs to be active in the campaigns for all of our candidates, endorsed candidates, both our supervisors and our county superintendent and our congressional and assembly candidates as well. So encourage you to get out and do what you can for our candidates. But yes, I will add that special plug for Councilmember Silva and Supervisor Williams that we especially need them to have a good showing. Information officer, anything to report?
Not this evening.
Okay. Parliamentarian, anything to report at this time?
Nope.
All right. We're moving right along. Next item we have on the agenda is our communications committee. The chair indicated she was not able to make it tonight, but she did pass along the report that the committee met, had a full committee meeting on April 6th, and then subcommittee met to discuss content for the website on 2 occasions. And they're again looking to work with Amber to add new content and make some changes to our website. And certainly we will defer to Amber to adopt those changes she sees fit and move them forward. Pat.
Yeah, I just want to add because I've been in the communication committee and I went to both meetings and we did meet with Amber earlier and we've made suggestions and as Amber's going to do what she can and I earlier I mentioned that I am going to try to do a little bit of about us, a history of our organization, and just a small bit of information and make a summary of who we are and what we do. And if anybody has ideas, please send them to me, email them to me. And if people know the history of how many years we've been here and just some general information, that would be helpful. So I'm open to any of that. So thank you.
All I can say at this point is obviously the Central Committee, county Central Committees are a legal body, so we've been around for decades upon decades. I think the senior members of the committee at this point have been on since the mid-90s.
Wow.
I don't know that we have much history beyond that available. I know anecdotally some of the story before that, but we can certainly share what we can and add to that reservoir. And I want to thank Michael Bremer for dropping the ballot drop-off locations into chat. And yes, there are a number of locations throughout our communities. Most city clerks have a drop-off location as well as our libraries. We also have, just looking at it real quickly, as I said, the hardware store in Benicia, the Fairfield Suisun district offices, Metairie Airport, the County Fairgrounds, and Hidden Brook Golf Club. So for those of you who live in Hidden Brook, you can vote there. And then there are a number of 5-day drop-off locations listed as well. So plenty of opportunities to drop your ballot off. Next up, Legislation Committee, and I know that Bonnie sent out a report earlier this evening.
Don, would you like, Michelle did send in a committee report from the committee.
Yes, and I just reviewed that briefly. We will be sending that out after the meeting as well.
Okay, I just stuck it in the minutes too.
Okay. And so, Bonnie, if you're ready.
Yes, thank you. I think so. I sent a written report and with the link to the bills that we discussed in committee and decided recommended unanimously, either for support or for opposition or for watch position. And I just sent it out a few hours before this meeting. I'm not sure if folks have had a chance to review it. I'm happy to kind of quickly go through maybe our priority bills if folks want. But I will leave it to the committee for that. But the bills are there, and I can let me put the link in the chat to the bills. There we go. And I'll put the link if folks want to kind of look around. There you go. And then, so what we came up with, we came up with a number of bills, and I told Don that I didn't really want to give him a stroke or a heart attack. So we chose 12 priority bills. I conferred with Kathy, believe it was yesterday or maybe the day before. I can't keep days straight. And we came up with these 12 bills, and I would ask that we send letters pretty quickly to the author, possible committees that they're in, and to our legislators in support or opposition of these particular bills. And then maybe before the final committee hearing on May 15th, the other bills send also support or opposition letters. I've put the status of where the bills are, which ones we support and which ones we don't. And we also have some watch bills that I'm not necessarily going to ask for any action on tonight, but they may come back, but it's something we want to watch along the way. Would folks, do you want me to talk about these bills? I don't know. What do y'all want to do?
What is the members' pleasure? As you said, we have 12 priority bills. My quick review, if I'm seeing it correctly, she's recommending support for 11 of them and opposition to 1. And then there's also a number of other bills that are listed to be responded to at a slightly later date and time. So,
Is there any objection to our recommendations? And again, anyone is welcome to come back at a later time and have more discussion with me personally, or certainly anyone is welcome to, who is a member of this central committee can join the legislative committee meetings on the third Wednesdays. The legislative session right now, many of these bills are already in the Appropriations Committee. Some are already on the suspense file. Some of the bills were heard yesterday or today, so I don't have updates on those because it lags. The Ledge Info, which is where I've been collecting information, lags on when those are updated. But most of these bills in the priority list are already in appropriations, which means they've made it through to that point, which is a kind of a crucial point. And last day for appropriations is May 15th. Some bills will go, some people say that's where bills go to be murdered, basically, because if they can't make it out of appropriations, they don't make it to the floor of whatever house they're in. But after they make it out of appropriations, then they go, say, the assembly bills will go to the floor of the assembly where they need to be voted on. I think they have maybe a week or a little bit more to vote on those. And if they make it out of their house of origin, then they go to the other house. So the assembly bills will go to the Senate bills will go to the assembly, and then they have to make it through the process all over again. So they have to be heard in both houses. If they're amended in the second house, then they have to go back to their house of origin at the very end, be voted on again, and then they make it to the governor if they go through that whole process. So that's, but we're kind of in the beginning, we're at the end of the first house at this point. So that's where we are. And I think the bills that we've chosen are appropriate. But if anyone's got any, I put the bills that we were presented with for Wilson and for Cabaldon. I put them all here in the priority bills just so we could get and support our legislators, and in full support of those bills, and just so folks are aware of that. Appreciate their work.
All right, thank you. Bonnie, Paula, I see your hands up.
So Bonnie, I have a question about 954. Does that look like it's going to pass?
It has passed out of its second committee. It passed today, I believe, out of its second committee, and it will be going to appropriations. So that's a really important bill. One of our priorities, it's on our priority list. And I think it's important for our legislators to know of our support. So that, again, I'm hoping that Dawn can send letters on those priority bills to our legislators.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the SB 954 bill is a pretty deep conversation. And we actually, well, anyway, we can talk a little bit about it offline, but it'd be really nice. I mean, Gabriel Tolson, who works for the Planning and Conservation League that is kind of spearheading the support for this bill, is doing some on the road presentations, which if any of the clubs would like him to come, he is just amazing. Talk about this issue. So y'all in Vallejo. Go ahead.
Michael Bremen.
Oops. Just a question. I think this is for you, Don. On the bills that we weigh in on, do we share that with other counties?
And that's for you, Dawn, because you're the chair, so you might know that.
No, not as a rule, we send the letters to the legislature, to their offices. But unless the committee specifically requests, we're not communicating with other central committees on our positions on those bills. Although we have done so in the past, and at the same time, we have often spoken up on bills, particular bills that other committees have highlighted as well. So, but it's not our practice as a general rule to share our list with other committees. The focus is
Right.
the legislature.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm learning. Thank you.
Well, Michael, you've been a real asset to the committee. I appreciate your participation, and you've been participating. I appreciate your participation in the committee. I appreciate everyone who joins that committee and their input. It's very helpful.
Are we looking for a motion to endorse?
Yeah, and we have a second because it does come from the committee. So I think we just need a vote on the recommendation, which is as written in my report. If you want me to pull up what I sent, or I can read the recommendation if I can find it.
Well, we have the top 12 bills. For those of you who haven't had a chance to read them, I will just to support AB 1731, AB 1777, AB 2184, AB 2447, AB 2669, SB 895, SB 954, SB 9994, SB 1054, SB 1075, and SB 1105, and oppose AB 2712. And then the other ones who are later on.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I think that what we would like is for the committee to support the ones that we've got listed under all the bills other than the watch bills, because the watch bills we could bring those up later. But right now it's to support or oppose those as listed, and that the plan would be that for the 12 priority bills that we send letters fairly quickly to the pertinent committees, to the author, and to our legislators for a first round. And then the other ones we will send in the next 2 to 3 weeks before the last committee hearing on May 15th. That is the request.
Okay. All right.
I would encourage everyone to vote for that if we need a vote.
All right. Any further questions? Otherwise, we'll go ahead and ask for you to approve the committee report.
Well, people are voting, Bonnie. I have a question for you on 1984.
Oh, yeah. So, well, okay. So we discussed this at the executive committee meeting. My understanding is that at the time we discussed it, there was no status on the bill. The bill had not been assigned to committee. However, when I looked at it a day or so ago, it is now been assigned to banking and finance. So I don't know. I've got it. I moved it to the watch position after our discussion, but we're definitely going to watch that one closely. So if that makes it, any farther, we will certainly bring that up back to the committee for sure. And we will watch those watch bills. We're not just forgetting them. We're going to definitely keep an eye on them.
So the legislative committee's report has passed. So
thank you
all.
Thank you.
I will just add that I heard from the author of AB 1984 that despite its official status, the bill is effectively dead. So
that's so sad.
Yeah.
That's
it really is.
That's
one of the features or bugs, depending on your point of view, of our state legislative processes. There are a number of stops along the way where bills can be killed without quite leaving fingerprints. So we just have to do our part to lobby for it and show that there's public support for that effort.
Do you know that bill, just a similar bill to that just passed in, I think it was Hawaii. I just read about it today. So it is happening, where they're limiting corporations that make money in their, that have that work in their states. So it is getting around to different other places.
I think one passed in Utah. Is that right? Could that be right? Or Nevada, somewhere? Oh,
Yeah, I think it was,
Montana.
Montana.
Well, that's where it
Yeah.
came from,
Uh-huh.
originated in Montana.
huh. Yeah, well, this I think I read was in Hawaii, so it's happening in
Oh,
places, so.
Yeah.
yay.
The idea is picking up some steam.
Mhm.
Just not here.
Yeah.
Next item we had on our agenda was the awards event planning. Unfortunately, both our fundraising committee co-chairs are not with us at the moment. But we are looking to have our awards event hopefully within the next few months. And we will be sharing information about that as soon as it becomes available. I in the interest of prudence, I'm actually going to ask for a motion to approve up to $500 for a deposit for a venue if one is located between now and next meeting.
So moved. This is Gian.
And second, this is Bonnie.
All right. Um,
Give me a second with the poll. I wasn't ready for that one.
well, I just didn't want.
Do you think 500 is enough? For...
Hopefully for a
I would go
deposit.
1,000.
Well, I will entertain whoever wishes to amend the motion, and then it's up to the body to discuss and vote. But I would certainly, if you feel 1,000 is appropriate, we can do that.
I'd like to amend the motion to 1,000.
I'd second that.
Okay, so the seconder agreed. So
Who was the
Susan
first
has a
person? I
chance to
can't
type
see.
it in.
Jan made the motion.
Okay. Oh, shoot.
You gotta love Amber. She's so quick putting this stuff together.
I do love Amber.
Yeah, she is.
We all love Amber.
She's a very greatly appreciated member of our team. Does a lot of work behind the scenes, obviously, and helps keep our technology running smoothly. So the kudos cannot come fast enough or often enough. And that's in addition to helping several good Democrats run campaigns and get elected to office throughout Solano County. Okay, has everyone voted who wishes to vote? I'll give you about 6 more seconds. Okay. All right. Motion approved. So should we have a venue, we can put down a deposit. All right. That was all we have for business, but I'm going to put our people on the spot. Do we well, Michael slipped out on me. I was just about to call on him. So Amber, do you have anything to say about either the campaigns you're working on for the primary that you wish to share?
Supervisor Williams is having her weekly canvas Saturday morning. She has a campaign headquarters now, right on the corner of Hillborn and Waterman, in the Wiseman building. And I'll put it in the chat, but you can sign up for a shift if you would like to if you are not available at 9 a.m. on Saturday to canvas, we are available whenever you want to walk. You can just send us an email or pop into the contact page and say, I'd like to walk on a Friday evening or Tuesday evening. And if you want to canvas, we have a packet for you.
Awesome.
What
Thank you so
time
much.
was that again?
Saturdays at 9 a.m. I'll put the flyer in the chat as well.
Great, great.
And I do know that the Labor Council is also doing several walks in support of our endorsed candidates. And they have some phone banks operating as well for those of you who want to work on a phone bank. And I'm sure there'll be other opportunities coming up. I believe there's a postcard writing party for Mike Silva in Vacaville coming up this weekend that we will, those of you who are interested, we can get you that information as well. But definitely want to echo comments made at the top of the meeting. Please, if you have the time and the capacity, please get out there and walk or phone or text or do what you can to support our endorsed candidates. This could be a very pivotal election to help determine the direction of the Board of Supervisors. So anything you can do to support our candidates would be appreciated. And Kathy, I see your hands up.
I just wanted to ask if anyone else has heard about activities for May Day. I've gotten some things where people are asking people to stay home from work and boycott stores and.
There are a number of those efforts, and I do know that SCIU is planning something on May Day, so I will let our representative speak on that. So you're up.
So we are having a May Day celebration from 4 to 6 outside the Fairfield main building, outside the glass building. We'll have a DJ, we'll have a bounce house. It's family friendly. It's trying to get people to understand what May Day is in Solano County. So just kind of getting a starter up. And we're working with other unions to get folks out there and just have like a fun event here in Solano County.
And that's in front of the
it's in that Plaza Square, that plaza area outside the glass building, the main county building.
So in Fairfield, yeah.
In Fairfield.
Outside of okay, great. I'll put that in the notes.
Okay.
Awesome. And I'm sure there will be more No Kings protests and 5051 and other organizations out there doing their bit in the coming weeks and months. We had amazing turnout at the event a few weeks ago throughout our community. I don't quite believe the figure of 4,500 in Vacaville, but perhaps 1,000 or more. It was quite full, but I don't know. I didn't count anywhere near 4,500. So all of you are doing, keep it up. And definitely there's plenty of risk to protest at this point in time. I think that's safe to say. Kathy, is your hand up again? Or
no, I'm sorry. I forgot to raise it lower.
All right. Do we have any other announcements at this time? No. Michael.
Just a reminder that voter registration deadline is May 15th.
So since we know all of you are currently registered, remind your friends and family who may not have updated their registration since they moved, or if they've let their registration lapse. And we will do what we can for June and then get ready for November. Jeannie.
I just wanted to let everyone know that I
got an email from Congressman Garamendi's office this afternoon asking about sign distribution throughout Solano County. I'm going to be working with that representative to probably get them delivered, and we'll be working out ways to get those signs into the hands of all of the different clubs within the Solano County Central Committee. I don't have any more information other than that. I don't know how many signs she's hoping that we will take. But I will be making sure that each club gets signs to put out to support Congressman Garamendi in his race. More
Jeanette.
info to follow.
Jeanette?
Yes. I just wanted to say that on May 9th, we're working on an event for Jane Kim, Insurance Commissioner in Vacaville. She just verified the day yesterday, so not everything's clear, but we'll send out an announcement because we'd like to have a good turnout to chat more with Jane Kim on May 9th.
All right, awesome. Look forward to that. Let's see, I have 2 more items. One, if you feel you need to be asked as a club or an individual, I'll just reiterate, you are being asked to mobilize your people on behalf of our candidates. I can't emphasize that often enough. And then the other thing I do want to remind all of our clubs and candidates who have been raising money in conjunction with the primary, tomorrow is the deadline to file your first pre-election report covering the first of the year through last Saturday. So if you've not finished your report, get on it. And I will just say, words of wisdom, do not schedule a major fundraiser right before our pre-election report. Otherwise, you will be taking people's name in vain as you're working on that report.
That's just from the candidates.
What?
The pre-election reports are from the candidates.
And any club that raises or spends money associated with the election.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
we've
believe
done
the
ours yet.
threshold. I believe the threshold is $500, but that information is available on the FEC website, and of course, your club treasurers should be well aware of that fact. And we'll be reporting if necessary. So, all right. Unless there's anything else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn and let you get out of here by 8 o'clock.
Move to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
Awesome.
All right,
I think
everyone.
it's a record, Don.
Go find out what's on TV on Wednesday night.
Well, they have the
Good, let me
debates,
know.
don't they, tonight?
Yeah, it was earlier, but I taped it, so but
Yeah, it started at 7.
Yeah,
I think it's
right.
still going
Oh, there
on.
might be still on. You might be able to catch it. So
Yeah, it's still
bye,
on.
everybody.
All those politicians, yeah, I'm sure they're still
If
talking.
you can, it's recorded on YouTube. You'll find it.
Great.
And the Giants are playing the Dodgers.
Oh, well, that's more important than any old governor's debate.
Go Dodgers.